Welcome back, everyone. You know, they say old dogs can't learn new tricks, but we say that's just not true. So here to share the story of how one man is honoring senior dogs by taking them out of the shelters and putting them into his sanctuary is Larissa. Welcome, Larissa. I love this story.
I love this story. You know, we talk about kitten season, puppy season. There are seasons that you see certain things in the shelters more so than others. Senior animals getting dumped at the shelters happens year-round. It's really heartbreaking. It's disheartening for rescuers. It's very sad. A lot of these dogs have done nothing wrong, but maybe they have some medical issues that the owners can't deal with, or the owners decide that they want to get a younger dog, and so they end up bringing in their older dogs. And these dogs are so easy to take care of and just want a soft place to lay their head for the most part. And, you know, they're so mellow and loving. And thankfully, there are wonderful people, namely a man named Clothier in Independence, Missouri, who started Sheps Place, a senior dog sanctuary where he has pulled senior dogs from his local shelter where he saw that they weren't getting adopted quickly, and he has created a whole life for them, and they stay there until they either, you know, get adopted or just stay there forever.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Well, joining us now is the man himself from Independence, Missouri, Mr. Russell Clothier. Hi, Russell.
Hi, Russell. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good.
Great. I'm just going to talk louder because we're on FaceTime. Like, that helps at all. I don't know why I started screaming at you, Russell. I apologize.
Hi,
I'm like, Russell! Hey, so, Russell, I understand, going back a while, you were a bit of a cat guy yourself. Didn't have a dog until about 5 years ago. So how'd you go from never having a dog in your life to then starting a senior dog sanctuary?
Well, you know, I was raised a cat person and never wanted to have a dog. My son, as he's growing up every year, I want a dog. And I'm like, no, they'll get fur all over the couch and everything. And then when he moved away, my wife wanted some companionship when I was at work, and we got a little dachshund and fell in love with her. And it's like, oh my gosh, I was so wrong all this time. And we just fell in love with dogs and adopted a couple more. And I began volunteering at the local animal shelter here, taking pictures of the dogs and walking them. And I noticed coming back week after week, you know, the puppies would disappear immediately, and the younger dogs would take a week or two. But you'd come back week after week and month after month, and these sweet old dogs would still be there. And it just hurt my heart to go in there and see that they were still there, because they were so mellow and friendly, and they're so glad to have someone walk them. And, you know, I said to my wife, I want to get these dogs out of here so they can live in a house with people and jump on the furniture and run around and play in the play yards like a normal dog.
Right.
So that's where the idea came from.
And I know you made quite a few sacrifices to actually start Sheps Place. Walk us through the process of the planning and then finally opening. What was that like?
Well, yeah, it took almost 2 years from when we first started thinking about it to when it actually happened. I had to do a lot of research. I spent several days visiting the senior dog sanctuary in Maryland, and they proved to me that it could be done. And then about a year ago, we started looking for properties, and we found this 90-year-old house here in Independence with 3 acres back behind it, and a nice field where we could do play yards, and it was zoned correctly. And but it being an old house, it had to have a lot of work done for the plumbing and the electrical, and so we got, we got the contractors and the architects and got money, and it took us about 6 months to get through that, and we just opened on April 6th.
Great job!
Congratulations!
Great job! I mean, geez, even the senior dog's got like a home renovation over there. I mean, you see that? That's amazing. Well done. Now, it's remarkable for many reasons, of course, but part of it is the fact that you've really engaged the entire community. I believe that Sheps Place is run by volunteers entirely, including some of your high school students, right?
That's true. No, we're entirely volunteer run, and that's been sort of a process figuring out how to work the shifts and get everybody in here at the time they need to. And Gina Carnahan there on the right, our volunteer coordinator, has worked her tail off, and we've done a really good job figuring out how to work this with strictly volunteers. I am a teacher at 3 of the high schools here in Independence, and I was proud that students at Van Horn High School, the leadership class came up with this idea to raise money to build little shelters for the dogs, and they took it to the industrial tech students, and they came up with the design and built it, and they delivered it on this super muddy day. They slogged through the mud with trash bags on their feet and deliver these beautiful pergolas. And we've had Cub Scout groups come and then Girl Scout groups signing up, and it's just been a really great. It's great to see, especially the young kids that I work with, caring about these old dogs. You know, you get this idea that all young kids do is sit and look at their phones all day long, and that's not true. That they would actually care enough to take their time and energy and devote it to the seniors was gratifying.
Well done.
Oh, Russell, thank you so much for all you do. That's really amazing.
Yeah. Well done.
To find out more about Sheps Place or to learn how you can help, you can visit shepsplace.org. Now, Larissa, before we go, can you tell us about our adoptable cuties today?
And he just goes to prove that everybody can do something. It can start at a grassroots level. So let's start with some adoptions. Today, first, we met Loretta, who is this beautiful American foxhound girl, 2 years old, about 50 pounds, in Conway, Arkansas, at arkanpaws.org. Such a pretty, beautiful girl, still learning her way around the world, but she would be great with a family. And then we also met through Sheps Place a wonderful dog named Arlo, who's a boxer, 8.5 years old, a senior technically, but he has a lot of energy and loves to play. And you can find out more at shepsplace.org in Independence, Missouri, like we just learned about.
Looked like he was causing some trouble in there.
So cute.
There was something going on there. Larissa, thank you so much. And as always, to see the animals that we feature every day, go over to hallmarkchannel.com or savebythel.com, and we'll come back with more from the family. We'll see you in a bit.